Okay, so for our project, what they're doing is a repayment sheet for a loan. Now again, this is to show you how to find the missing blanks. Please don't just fill in the numbers that I give you here. I redid the sheet with a different loan amount, but you will use the same methods to fill in your spreadsheet. So notice for each payment, the first payment, all of the payments so far are the same amount. We have payments of $176.07. For each of those, part of that payment goes to interest and the rest goes to principal. Interest is the amount you're paying to them for letting you borrow the money. Principal actually brings down your balance. Okay, so to calculate each step, what we do is, and you can just use the monthly rate here if you want. Okay, to find the monthly rate, what they did is took 10% and divided it by 12 so that they had a monthly rate instead of an annual rate. Okay, so if you need to know the amount of interest for a payment, you take the balance, the previous balance, times the monthly rate, since they gave you a monthly rate. And that avoids having to divide by 12 each time. Okay, the next thing they have is the reduction of principal. So you make this payment, $16.67 is going to interest, the rest goes to principal. So if you want the reduction of principal, all you have to do is take the monthly payment minus the amount of interest. Okay? And the other thing, then the final thing we have is the new loan balance. Okay? So if you're looking for the loan balance, what you're going to do is take the previous balance, the one on the line above, and subtract from that the reduction of principal. I should have typed those out so that they were prettier, but we'll take what we can get. So the first two lines they filled out completely. When we get to the third line, they give you the monthly payment amount, they give you the amount that goes to interest, but they leave out the reduction to principal. So remember, the reduction to principal is your monthly payment of $176.07 minus the amount that went to interest, because that is not going to lower your balance. It's just going to make them happy because they let you borrow this money and you're paying a little extra. Okay, so when we do that, we get $162.07. So that is what would go here. So again, if you're missing the blank reduction of principal, you take your amount of your payment minus the payment to interest. Okay. On line 4, we have the payment amount. We're missing the payment that goes to interest. So what we have to do is go up on the previous line and look at what the previous balance was. In this case, $1,517.80. We want to know what interest would be owed there. We're just going to take it times the monthly rate since they were nice enough to give us a monthly rate. Now on this, you want to be careful and not do what I just accidentally wrote in there. Okay, our monthly rate is 0.83333333. Remember that we still have to move, it was as a percent, we still have to move the decimal 2 places to the left. So you're going to be multiplying by 0.0083333. So we're going to take this amount times our monthly rate. 0.0083333, and that will tell us how much interest we are owing right now. Okay, when I do that, I get $12.65. So that is the amount that would go right here. $12.65. Okay, another way, actually an easy way to find that would be to notice, well, my payments are made up of interest and principal. So what you could do is take the 176.07 and subtract from that how much was principal. The rest would be your interest payment. So you could do it that way also. You get the same answer either way. All right, line 5, we have a new space that's empty. It's our loan balance. So your loan balance, notice, is decreasing each time. How much is it decreasing by? It's decreasing by this reduction to principal. So if you're missing the loan balance, you take the previous loan balance of $1,354.38, subtract from that the line you're on, the reduction to principal, which in this case was $164.78. When we do that, we get $1,189.60. So that would be the amount I type in right here. Okay, line 6 is completely filled out for us. Line 7, we are missing blanks here and here. So we're going to have to find the payment to interest and the reduction to principal. So again, to find the payment to interest, we take our previous balance, which in this case was, I'm going to do it over here where I have room, $1,023.45. We multiply that by our monthly interest rate, which was 0.0083333. We get $8.53. So that's the amount that goes to interest, and that's the amount we would put right here. Okay? Then our reduction to principal is whatever's left of our payment after we paid interest. So we take the $176.07 and subtract from that the amount that went to interest, $8.53. Okay, and we get $167.54. Sorry, that's really ugly. Okay, so you can see as you go down, we just use the same method over and over as we go down our spreadsheet, and we fill in the amounts that they're asking for. Now, again, months 8 and 9 are completely filled in. When we get to month 10, we have to start again and fill in both values. I'm going to go ahead and get a clean slide here so that we have room to work. So on line 10, again, we need to know what's our payment to interest and what's our reduction to principal. So payment to interest, you look at the previous line, the loan balance that's due. Take that times your monthly interest rate, which again, remember, we move the decimal 2 places to the left. Our monthly rate was 0.0083333. So we're taking $516.62 times 0.0083333, and that tells us that we owe on this payment $4.31 in interest. So I put that amount right here. What's the payment, the reduction to principal? Well, that's whatever is left of our payment after we pay our interest. So I take the full payment of $176.07 and I subtract the $4.31. When I do that, I get $171.76 is going to my principal amount. On line 11 then is filled in. Line 12, we need to know what is our last payment, because they try to spread the payments out and have them all be exactly the same. But sometimes when you get to the end, it doesn't come out quite even. So let's calculate the amount of our final payment. Well, one thing we could do is they filled in the interest and the principal for us. So again, what you would do is take the amount of principal that's left times your interest rate. But they did that for us and got $1.43. Plus you have to pay everything that's left on the loan, the rest of the balance, $171.66. So on the last payment, it works a little differently. Okay, so the last payment, you take the final balance of the loan plus the interest that's owed. Okay, so we take our final balance of $171.66 plus the interest that's owed on that payment, $1.43. And that tells us what our last payment will be. Our last payment will be $173.09. Okay, so that is how you fill out the spreadsheet for the first of Project 4.